Hey guys, welcome back. We're on week 3. So you signed up. We sent you the video with a meditation. Then we did a fix the broken soul the next week. And then last week we did the father healing. Now we're going to talk about initiation for men, being initiated into manhood, so to speak. Now, just to be clear, I'm certainly not an expert I'm not a scholar at all on this, but I'm a man. And I did a lot of reading about it over the years, and so I have a little bit of perspective. So, in the culture, in most of the world's culture right now, except for some of the older cultures and the what Western society refers to as the more primitive cultures. They're the ones that are taking care of the earth and in connection with their emotions and don't go around killing huge amounts of people, and they're the ones that are primitive. Interesting, isn't it? But anyways, in this culture, there's a lack of initiated men, a lack of men that have been brought into manhood in a more mature version of manhood. There's a lot of young boys in 50 and 60 and 70-year-old bodies wandering around. And part of it is not their fault. Part of it is because the culture and because of everything else have interrupted the natural way over the centuries, over thousands of years, over hundreds of thousands of years probably, and the natural kind of way that men become men in the community and in touch with their emotions as a man. And part of it is because of a lack of an initiation. And they receive a wounding and they never get to, it's kind of a funny thing because there's these wounds that us men can have. And it can be very difficult to heal that wound, to even be aware of it. Sometimes we're proud of the wound because sometimes we're very angry about it. Sometimes we're in major self-pity about it. Sometimes we don't even recognize it as a wound. And so the wound is important. And the wound can be the doorway into becoming the man. And also, in many of the old cultures that initiated boys into men, there also can often be a wounding or a death, a kind of a death. Sometimes the wounding is literally a physical wound that's given to the boy. I believe somewhere possibly in Aboriginal Australia, I'm not sure, so I apologize if I'm getting that wrong to the Aboriginal Australians that may be watching this. But somewhere, part of the process is to literally take a rock and break one of the teeth of the kid so that the boy has the wound that symbolizes the so-called death of the boy so that the man can be born. And this is so that he will remember for the rest of his life. He has this wound. In some cultures, there's ritual scarring, of the skin, and so on and so forth. In some cultures, the entire village puts together a psychodrama, and the men go off into the jungle and create a special hut in a clearing deep in the jungle that the boys will be taken to. And then the whole village creates this experience of coming into the village and dressed up in masks, the men. And the women, knowing this will be happening, are screaming because the men are coming to kidnap the boys. To me, it's pretty harsh emotionally, but it's what happens in this particular culture, and it has been happening for who knows how many thousands of years. And the women are wailing and screaming, and the boys are taken, and they're scared out of their minds, of course, and they're taken to this special hut. And in some cultures, they're given psychedelic plants. And they're there for 24 hours, but they feel like they're there for days or weeks or something. and they go through some kind of a ritualized death or wounding, and then they come out, the man, and then they're taken back to the village, and they don't. And in some cases, they don't ever live with the woman again, the mother again. Maybe they do. Is that the right thing to do or not? I don't know. I'm not judging it one way or the other. I'm not saying this because it's right and what we all should be doing now in the society, or it's wrong because, oh my God, those poor kids, or I'm not saying any of that. All I'm saying is that in many, many, many different cultures, there's a process that men go through, an initiation of sorts into manhood, and that's missing. And it is, on some levels, the source of much of the suffering that's created by all of the men that are out there that have not been initiated into proper manhood. These wounded boys in male bodies. Even in the animal kingdom, for example, it is believed with elephants, for example, particularly in Africa, that the mature elephants, female or male, I'm not sure which, maybe both, do some kind of not an initiation in the human dramatic way that I'm describing, but some kind of something. And that for the male elephants especially, but both male and female, to be able to interact in a mature way in the community of the elephants, there's something that they have to go through, I've heard. I don't remember where I heard that. So maybe we'll look it up. We'll see. It makes sense because they're pretty sophisticated social beings with deep emotions and stuff like that, the elephants. So we're going to give the men that are watching this the initiation. We're going to ask the source to do it. Don't worry, I'm not expecting you to have somebody come up to you with a rock and bash your teeth in. Not okay. But there'll be some kind of symbolic change for you. And we're going to download, as the women's part, we're going to download the women and the mothers, the highest definition and understanding of what this really is, and an understanding, of, at least on a subconscious level, energetically, of the benefit for the men to have this, the benefit of it in their lives, and what the woman's role can be, which is going to be different a lot of the time than some women are going to want it to be, because the women have to, it changes the relationship between the man and the boy and the mother, for example. So, you know what, I'm not clean and clear in all of the understanding and details. I know some of it, but I don't think I'll talk a lot about it right now because I'm not deeply enough in the knowledge to physically be able to talk about it. But underneath all the talking and everything through the video is the understandings, even that I don't understand, that I don't understand, but will be coming to, on a deeper level, coming to everybody. So whoever you are, male or female, whether you're already a mature man or not, you're a woman or a girl or whatever, you're a wife or a mother or whatever, I'm just going to ask that whatever is correct and appropriate for you to be received, that you be given. And specifically with the men, I'm going to ask that energetically on some level, that it's true now that you have already gone through and received the initiation into a mature man, at whatever age you happen to be at, okay? Most of the time it doesn't start until the earliest I read about is like 8 years old, but that's kind of extreme. But whatever, you get the point. So if all of that is okay with whomever you are, whatever your part of what you're going to get receiving, please say yes. And I'll do the energy work now and we'll begin. Okay, here we go. there we go. So we'll see what that does for everybody. All right. Have a good week. We'll see you next week, and probably what we'll do is we'll do the mother healing version like we did last week with the father. So look forward to that. All right. Have a great week. See you later. Bye.